So Andy, some real serious progress made during your time so far, unbeaten in 4, 2 wins, 2 draws, back-to-back wins of course. Has it gone better than you were perhaps expecting so far?
Good question. We wanted to improve, as I told you last week. We found lots of areas that we needed to improve at. That hasn't come to a grinding halt. We've had 4 good results and we've had 2 good wins in our last 2 performances, but there's still lots and lots of things that we need to focus on every single day to become a better team.
After the Bradford win, you explained your decision to take Kieran Morris off to us after the game. What does that tell us about you as a manager, that you'll make that decision? Because it is a bold move to take someone off in the first half. It doesn't happen very often at all. What does that tell us about you and the type of manager you are?
It tells you that I got it wrong in the first half, and I was seeing how the game was panning out. I think, having watched the game live obviously, and then watched the game back, I thought Bradford were brilliant. I've got to be honest, I think they're the best team that I've seen this season, and it's not only during my time here at Tranmere. I've seen lots of League 2 games. I thought Bradford were really, really good. Their intensity, their quality on the ball was really good, but I thought we needed to change something to give ourselves a better opportunity to win the game. Now, that was nothing against Kieran, as I said post-game, and I've spoken to him at half-time, after the game and since, but I just thought we needed a different skill set in the middle of the pitch to try and combat Bradford. The game didn't change a lot in terms of us being in a low block for a long period of time, but I thought Chris Merrick brought us a little bit, a different skill set, the ability to win possibly more duels and retain possession to allow us to at least get 1 or 2 passes, which they were really good. We found a different way to win a game than what we did against Bromley the week previously, where we were dominant with the ball. Most of our work last week at Bradford was done without possession, and we maintained that for 105 minutes of the game. So the way we defended our box, and when we needed Luke to make a save, he produced the moments we needed.
How impressed were you with the players and their flexibility in the tactics that you gave them? Like you say, a different way to win a game. It's not always as easy as that, is it?
No, listen, there's many aspects which influence a result of a game of football, so we have to improve again, as I keep saying, in every single aspect. Our out of possession work last week was done in a low block, so we managed to nullify a lot of what Bradford tried to do, but ultimately then when they got into our penalty area and they got efforts at our goal, Luke was there to make saves, and one particular save just before half time was possibly a pivotal moment within the game, where if they go in at 1-0 up, the crowd are obviously up with the numbers they had, and it may be a different game, but luckily for us, Luke produced that moment. Second half, they didn't have that quality of chance that they had just before half time, and we spoke at half time of, if we get one moment within this game, we need to be ruthless with it, and luckily for us, Josh produced that moment from the penalty spot.
How has Kieran reacted to that in the week? So I imagine, seeing your number come up in the first half must have been a bit of a surprise for him.
He's reacted brilliantly to it. He understood the situation. As I said, I spoke to him at half time after the game, and I've done since, just to reiterate the reasons why. It was nothing against him. It was my issue, it was my fault, so I had to do something about it. So he's trained just like everyone else has this week really well, and he's available for tomorrow.
Your position in the table looks healthier now, with a bigger gap between yourselves and the bottom 2. Is there an element of, you've got to sort of guard against complacency in a way, because you've done so well, you've won back-to-back games, and they were all against teams in the top half of the table. Coming up, you've got games against teams in the bottom half of the table. Is there a doubt or a worry in your mind about getting too carried away?
We're still third bottom of League 2, so if the players can even think about getting carried away with it, the reality of the situation is our league position hasn't changed. We are looking to the teams above us. We spoke about that from day one, about the potential of it being a 6-team mini league between the 13 games we had left. Those teams are still in the same positions, so we're looking up, and can we get closer to the teams who are above us. As you said, the points we've taken have been against teams who are in the upper reaches of the league, but we go to Fleetwood tomorrow, and they've beaten Walsall at home. They've drawn with Wimbledon, they've drawn with Notts County, they've drawn with Port Vale, and they beat the team just above them in the league table in Cheltenham. So their last 5 results are really good at home. It's exactly the same challenge for us. We go to Fleetwood trying to find a way to win. That's what we'll always try and do. The challenge will be different to last week. We're playing against a different team with a different objective of how they try and play, but we have to turn up both with and without the ball. We have to do much more this week than we did last week with the ball, because last week we weren't good enough in possession. The ball got turned over too easily, too quickly in our own half in particular, so we caused some of our own problems. So we've obviously tried to address that this week and show and talk and walk through and work on the training pitch. So if we turn up tomorrow, we're going to Fleetwood to win. We're going to have to produce a really good performance to do that because of their current form. But it's an opportunity again to build and keep looking at our momentum.
In terms of your squad availability, are you expecting to have any players back available that have been out?
No, in terms of injuries, we're now at the final stages of the rehab for Tom Davies and Luke Norris. They've joined in part of training this week in a controlled manner, and have then finished off their sessions with the rehab coach in terms of Liam. So they're up to speed now, and hopefully now they'll tick their final box tomorrow, and they'll rejoin training on Monday.
With Luke Norris, I just wondered, because he's had a few more problems with injuries over the last 18 months, do you have to manage his return a bit more carefully than you do for someone who, like Tom Davies, who's not been out for that long?
Listen, there has to be a return to training protocol, which we all have to live by, which has to be set by the medical department, and we have to make sure that those boxes are ticked, because we can't put a player's career at risk by trying to rush him back. You know, we are aware of our own situation, and would I like every single player available? Of course I would, but some players have had a longer period of time injured, so yeah, we have to make sure that every box is ticked and that the chances of then re-injury are less.